Hello, everybody. Today we're doing What If Deku, what if Tanjiro learned thunder breathing, part 1. Sorry about the Deku thing, instinct. By the way, guys, I'm not going to be continuing What if Deku is Zenitsu's descendant because I left on a horrible part. He just killed All for One in part 1. That's just not right, guys. I'm sorry. I won't be redoing the series because, yeah, I'm just sorry. Yeah. So, on that part, we will be continuing, yeah. So, when Gyu had just finished off, when Gyu had just knocked Tanjiro unconscious, he left a note in his pocket. And instead of Urudaki, he sent him off to. He recommended the man who trained Zenitsu. And since that's gonna happen, they're going to be friends already. Well, I'd consider them friends now. They're like best buddies. So, when Tanjiro wakes up, he looks over towards where Gyu recommended the guy with his name, and it showed coordinates as Tanjiro went in that way, carrying his sister along the way. As he starts his massive hike over there. By the way, guys, Sabito and Mokomo won't be in here only because for the fact he won't be one of Urodaki's kids. So, yeah. So, after a long time, they finally get there, and it was almost nighttime. So, Tanjiro opens the door, closes it, as Zenitsu says, "Who are you?" As Tanjiro, with Nezuko in his arms, drops to the floor, unconscious from exhaustion. The next day, he wakes up to see Nezuko to his side as he jumps up and says, "Where am I?" "Oh, right, here." As Zenitsu says, "My master told me to greet you here. I'm Zenitsu Agatsuma." "Oh, who is she?" "She's your girlfriend." "Lucky. How could you keep her from me?" As Tanjiro says, No. She's my sister." As he says, "Oh, okay. Why are you lying to me? You don't have to hide that she's your girlfriend." As Nezuko wakes up. No, she doesn't. She's gonna be asleep once again for a while until he beats the final thing. Final selection. So, Tanjiro and Zenitsu start training there. Because they had started training at the same time. Well, Zenitsu far in front of him. They start their training under him. And I'd assume how Zenitsu described it, it sounded a lot rougher than Urodaki's. So, Tanjiro will be getting a good amount stronger. So, after a couple months of this, he starts training them in sword techniques and thunder breathing. While that is happening, Nezuko is slowly getting better at the same time. And one day while they're training, Nezuko actually wakes up, and Zenitsu goes over to greet her and says, "Hey, Nezuko." As Nezuko waves and says, Who are you?" As he says, "I'm Zenitsu Agatsuma. Will you please marry me?" As Nezuko is shocked, and she says, sorry, I don't even know you. We're just my brother." As Tanjiro comes back and says, "There you are, Nezuko." As after that day, Nezuko also started training. Even though final selection was in a year from now, they had to get her up to pace. So after around 6 months, while Nezuko was doing everything they were doing, plus the training that got them to that point where they could start doing sword stuff. So she does all that, and by the 6th month, she's all with them, and he presents 3 boulders in front of them and tells them that each of you will have to break 1 boulder. If you cannot, you are not worthy to go to final selection. And for the first 3 months they have left, they start attacking the boulder with all they have, but even with Nezuko's demon powers, quote-unquote, she can't break it. As one day, Nezuko uses all of her strength she has in a sword cut, and it hits clean through half of it. She gets mad, and then takes a deep breath, as both Zenitsu and Tanjiro look over to see a little gust of air come out of Nezuko, as her eyes then turn white as electricity goes around her, as she uses thunder breathing, form 2, as she cuts right through it. As Tanjiro and Zenitsu are shocked as it completely destroys the entire boulder, as they do the same thing after that, but except a month later with quite a lot of trouble. So, on the day they go over to final selection, their trainer tells them that they better return, or else nothing, honestly. So, as both of them go into the forest and final selection starts, they stick together. Each time Zenitsu, usually, is hit onto the ground, Nezuko uses her thunder breathing and always cuts through it. Or with Tanjiro. Kind of think of the one Hashiro with the white eyes. You know who I'm talking about. You better. He kind of looks like that when he does it. So, yeah. They keep going through the final selection, but a couple, a good amount away, Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Zenitsu hear a scream in the distance as they both go over, all 3 of them go over, to see a massive hand demon fighting this boy and stand-in for Tanjiro. And it's just this random person with a fox mask. As they are fighting the hand demon, Nezuko, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu start attacking the hand demon also. As the demon slayer the hand demon had in his hands, he threw him at a tree, as the hand demon starts fighting all 4 of them. Eventually, though, the replacement Tanjiro cuts off a couple hands at the same time that were also attacking the 3 of them, as with 3 thunder breathing techniques at one time, along with a water breathing technique, all 4 of them cut straight through the entire hand demon. Firstly was the water attack that sliced its head clean off, and the thunder attacks that sliced and diced around the body. As the hand demon falls to the ground, it starts reminiscing, and as Tanjiro walks over and tells him something nice, does the MC thing, makes the villain cry. Yeah. So they later return to their trainer as he tells them that soon they will get their raven and along with their blade. And later, when they come, we'll say I don't know the colors for the swords, guys. So we're gonna assume there's every color. So Zenitsu, as in the anime, I do believe he has a yellow sword. Yeah, you can see it in the picture. Nezuko gets a pink one, and Tanjiro a black one. And the swordsman is actually quite astonished with Nezuko's. He hadn't seen a pink one in a while, he tells himself, as he walks away. As their trainer then sends them off into the wild to become demon slayers. And they get the same mission that happens in the anime. As they continue doing, so we'll be ending off there, guys. Sorry about that. We'll be leaving off there. We will continue off after that, though. Right as that first mission that happens in the anime. So, yeah. This is Keto signing off. Goodbye.